Hello. It is wonderful to be here. I want to say just a huge thank you to Book Hug, to Jay and Hazel, and to my editor, Karen Soli, who is over across in Europe. This whole process has been just incredible. This moment is wonderful and overwhelming. I'm going to read a poem that really comes from the beginning of the process of this book. You know, in each beehive, the queen actually is named, and that's the name of the hive that carries. And the first hive that I encountered in the process of writing this book was a hive named Elizabeth in downtown Vancouver. And I would say at the center of this book is this poem. And it is really looking at the interdependence of pollinator species and human beings, particularly with regards to colony collapse disorder in the Western honeybee. And the numbers that you'll hear me speak in this poem are very specific. They are the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence, in a reminder of all things being continuous cycles, relationship, patterns. So this poem is called Miscarriage. Hexagons, 40,000 wings, weeping against the honeycomb, dark as inside the body, dark as unbroken wood. The bees working light from their bodies, sweet geometry dripping like a gland, a small world's thymus. I'm reaching for an old fling in a damp cafe, trying to hug them in the sopping crowd, and the bee flies between us, barbs into bone between my breasts. Algorithmic, autocatalytic, a scout dancing his harvest on the floor, colony torn open at the sound, moving to the obliterating light, pregnant crop dusted and grafted, that universe of canola. Hot cloth, tweezers. In me, the stinger just buries deeper. Sometimes nature wants you closer to kiss the blood right out of you. I once watched a girl slip off a mountain, her red against the pine bed where she split her femur, lucky. The world is math disguised as color. 1 is to 1.618 is to seed head, is to cauliflower, nautilus shell, hurricane, the reproductive pattern of honeybees, and the ratio of a healthy uterus. In time, my body weeps at the sting, blue and swelling, elbow sweat and knee back sweet. That old fling from the cafe puts a hand to me 8 weeks later, pauses as the cafe grows louder, worried it was somehow him. Monochromatic, the hive pulped with dust it can't harvest. The colonies still thrusting into seed head, into the smell of light, into purpose. Infertility a compass, white need turning the queen from her land. I see them on a neighbor's milkweed at 13 weeks. 2 land on my wrist, 3, then 5. They circle my skin, dizzy as suns, place filigree legs on my saccharine skin, eating what nectar they can until I shudder and suddenly cramp. 0 yield. 1 scouts towards water. 1 knows they haven't crossed it before, but 2 bees follow. 3 crane to the reflection of a flower, 5 land to drink, 8 flock beneath, plus 5 is 13, then nature repeats itself, 8 flock under, which is 21 beneath, and then 34 suicides, and nature repeats itself, which is 0 bodies in the hive, 1 gloved hand reaching, 1 keeper vomiting by the hive, 2 miles from the water. And I wake in a puddle of honey, glistening at the crotch. The stinger beside me like a lost earring, and everything so quiet I can hear that girl as she fell. Wind cutting her voice, staccato as gravity took from her what it wanted, and there wasn't anything I could do. Thank you.